founder of Soroptimist International of Cambridge.
We're an organization that's dedicated to improving the lives of girls and women locally, nationally, and internationally.
We help establish new programs, assistance for education, and financial assistance to help women improve their lives and career opportunities.
Dream It Be It is a program specifically dedicated to helping high school girls get access to career education, resources, and mentors who can help to guide them through their career journey.
We know that 2020 and onward has been really difficult for everybody, difficult for us too. We know it's also hard to look at the future for your career when you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Sometimes you just need to take a step back and have some fun too. We all
need to feel good about ourselves during COVID. We want to give you a chance to forget about things that are going on right now.
Many amazing women have volunteered their time to talk about their career journeys.
They've also given us videos and some fun activities ranging from no baking, yoga, relaxation techniques, makeup, and skincare and exercise.
Gather your friends, virtually for now, and try out some of the activities together. Have some fun. We want to help you feel good about yourself during COVID. Hello, everyone. My name is Kashila, and I'm here today for our wellness series through Dream It Be It program. I'm really excited to introduce to you Tammy Cymbalisty, who is going to be here to talk to us about yoga, relaxation, and alternative forms of meditation. Correct?
Absolutely.
So I'm very excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Tammy, I would love to hear about the path, your career path, the education, the experiences. What led you down this path to the career you're in presently?
A long and winding road. So I have my Bachelor of Arts from Trent University in Peterborough, and since then moved a couple of different places, and 21 years ago landed in Cambridge. When I arrived here, I couldn't find work. So in past, I had worked at a logistics company. I worked for Northern Telecom. I worked for Russell Metals. It was all in logistics. So past that, I ended up working with York South Community Center, and I worked with a group of delayed adults in Richmond Hill. So when I moved here, I thought I'll just find something along those lines, working with that. I really enjoy the community living groups, and I just couldn't find a job. So someone said to me, why don't you teach yoga and meditation? And I thought, yeah, right. So this is me back 21 years ago. I couldn't talk in front of a group of 2 people without having a huge meltdown. So I would shake and I would blush, and it was awful. So I thought, there's no way I'm going to do this. But I thought, you know what, I can't find a job and I have to do something. So I went and found Atlas Yoga Studio that's located here in Cambridge and started the teacher training process. So it's 200 hours that you take with them. And it's kind of a program where you learn and teach at the same time. So I did the 200-hour teaching program. And since then, I've added a lot of other different types of modalities, hypnosis and NLP, reiki, hypnobirthing, which is hypnosis for childbirth. It's an education class, and discovered that, you know what, if I get over myself, I can talk in front of large groups of people. The thing that I will mention is several years ago, I did a presentation for Dr. Pandy's Healthy Heart Day. And with Dr. Pandy, it was teaching a chair yoga class to a group of 300 people. So here's this person that couldn't talk in front of 2 people years prior talking on a stage in front of 300. So it's doable. You can do it. Get
I
over
remember that. It was wonderful.
yeah.
So thank you. That's an amazing path. And I mean, it's important for girls to realize that sometimes what you're going to do for the rest of your life doesn't start when you're in high school. You have to explore, you have to try a few things. It's good to get a foundation,
Yeah,
and then you'll find that path. It just sometimes it takes a little longer.
that's right. I mean, I was 30 before I got married and 32 before I started my career. So, I mean, I had jobs before that, but it wasn't anything that I would say, this is my chosen career path. And I will let the girls know that you can do it without even knowing which is your right and your left. I know you were in my classes before, and how many times did I say, turn to your left, and it's my right hand?
I remember.
That
And
has changed.
no, and you know what? I always loved your classes. I loved your energy and your attitude, and the fact that you knew what you were talking about was really really important. And the training you have shows. So I appreciated that, and I think it's important to know that whatever you do, just make sure you have the foundation so you can grow from that. That's
Mm,
amazing.
absolutely. And with yoga, I mean, I don't know about other careers, but with yoga, it is never ending. I'm constantly on the internet searching for other classes and teachers and ways to explain or ways to move your body so that, I mean, if we do the same thing week after week after week, not that that's a bad thing, but I'm going to get bored with that. And I think students will as well. So I want to bring as much knowledge into it as possible.
It's wonderful. What is your favorite part of your job?
Really just enjoy encouraging people to just relax and let go of all of the layers that they hold on to of stress. So just releasing those layers and seeing the looks on faces when they're done and they're like, oh, I needed that. I feel so much better.
That's amazing. So, could you sort of take me through a typical day in your work day? Like a work, I mean, let's pretend pre-COVID because obviously now it's quite different. Explain to me what a typical day would be for you.
So in past, a typical day was have Matt will travel. So I don't work out of a specific studio. I work in different locations. So I would basically get in the car, go teach a class, and rinse, repeat for the rest of the day. So I was teaching 18 hours a week, which is a fair amount of classes for yoga, but you want to be able to eat and pay for bills. So you kind of have to put yourself out there in that amount. So yeah, it's basically getting in, teaching class. Um, you get about a half an hour of space between classes. It's how I have things set up. Go and teach the next class. And then at some point throughout any given month, you're sitting down doing the back end stuff. So your books and all of the things that people don't see in class, which I already mentioned, research and development of the classes themselves, and then the backside of the business. That's not my favorite part, but it's got to be done too.
Has to be done. Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about job security and stability in your career.
So there is a lot of stability if you're willing to be a go-getter, really. You have to go and find the contracts that serve you the best. See, yoga classes normally they run for 6 weeks or 8 weeks program. Normally that's what you'll be hired for. So for most places anyhow, unless you work in a gym, like and get an hourly type of job, you're not going to be teaching any more than a few hours a week for most yoga teachers. I've been really blessed to be able to teach many classes with many different contracts, but it's not the norm for a lot of teachers. Many people only teach 1 or 2 classes a week, which there's nothing wrong with that. We need lots of yoga teachers. For example, I'm not the 6 o'clock in the morning, get up and teach yoga teacher, just not me. So we need someone to be able to teach those classes because there's lots of people out there that are early risers that really want to teach yoga classes. One thing I was thinking is when I started teaching yoga, there was only maybe 10 yoga teachers in town. I could count all of the yoga teachers on my fingers. Now I don't even know a third of the teachers because there are so many teachers out there, but we still need a lot of teachers to help with different populations. So I'm not sure if I answered your question completely there, but it's a lot of information.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what you basically have said is that I mean, there are different styles of yoga. There are different people out there in the world, or different yoga teachers. So there's opportunities in different niches.
For
Is
sure.
what you're
And
saying.
not every teacher is the right person for every student, right? So I'm not the best teacher for lots of people, but then for other people, I'm the right teacher. So it's one of those things. So as far as job stability goes, normally you'll find that yoga teachers have other things that they offer as well, so that they can fill in those spaces and gaps financially and within their hours. They can't always find time people that want time slots that they're available to teach for.
Okay. Well, that's really helpful, because I know you mentioned that you do yoga. So I'm assuming that you upgrade. Because I know there's different. If people are aware of yoga, they do a lot of different styles of yoga. I remember you were teaching us about the about laughing yoga. I remember there was one which was really an interesting thing, but I actually really felt good afterwards. There's another yoga where you have to you hit certain pressure points along your body. So obviously there's lots of different styles. So there's education in that, from my understanding. How long did it take you to do some of the things like Reiki, and I know you do hypnotherapy as well. How long and what kind of education is involved in those kind of training, additional training?
So I decided that I was not only going to eat, live, and breathe yoga, which is a full year training course, but at the same time, I would do my Reiki Master Teacher certification and hypnobirthing. So all I did for that whole year was just absorb information and do training. So with Reiki, it's 2 full day classes that go from 9 until 5. And then in between, you have to have extra hours for teaching to get the next level of certification. Hypnobirthing, which is a childbirth education class, that was taught, again, there's a process to go into the training. It was 2 days of full training in class, and then each year you have to get 15 CEUs to continue with the Hypnobirthing Institute.
Okay.
So there's yearly, you're upgrading and updating your training with them as well. So yeah.
And you recertify, I assume, maybe like in any practice, you have to get licensed or recertified. Is that the way it worked with your fields?
So with hypnobirthing, you have to just basically take the training all over again.
Okay.
Once every 5 or 7 years.
Okay.
Or 7 to 10 years. I'm not sure exactly, but I've done it a few times.
Okay.
With Reiki and yoga, once you have the certification, you have it for life. At this point, because they're not regulated by the government yet, and I don't know if they ever will be, as you said, because there are so many different forms.
That's correct. Okay, so as I probably have, I've written in your bio as well. Tammy has her a company, basically. It's TLC Services. So she has all this within, so she can basically contract out or offer the services through her company, and that's something that you should also look into. Obviously, is to make sure you understand how to run a business a little bit.
Well, and the things that are constantly changing, like for example, we used to be able to play music in yoga all we wanted and nobody cared, right? But this company came along. It's a governing body called SOCAN. And what they do is make sure that you have the license for the music that you're playing so that the musicians can get paid for their work, right? So it's shifted and changed. So if you don't have that particular license, then you're not to play music in the background. And there's a penalty involved from the government. You will be charged if you don't have this particular license. So that's something that's shifted and changed over the years. So again, it's just staying up to date with what is required. And usually it's a governmental body that will come and say, oh, by the way,
we need our cut. No. Well, whatever. Interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, these are the new regulations.
Right, I understand. No, you know what, and that does make sense. I mean, you should be paid. It's important to know the rules and abide by them. So that's good.
And that they're ever changing too, right? Like some people don't know anything about SOCAN, and that you have to have that in the background of classes. And again, it's just if you stay up to date so that you don't regret it later on.
No, and I know you are always up to date. I read your blog and everything. It's really interesting to see your emails come in and just to know the new things that are out there. So I really do appreciate that kind of knowledge. Like obviously, I know you came into this career later on in life after getting a degree and whatnot. Did you ever have a mentor or somebody that would have helped guide you a little bit in this particular? I know your friend told you about yoga, but did you have anybody to model off from, or a mentor, be a mentor to you? Try that again. To be a mentor to you?
I don't know if it wasn't really a yoga mentor per se, but the positive inspirational speakers like Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, these are people that really encourage you to go for your dreams and to not hold back in the game of life, right? I know, again, one of the first things that anybody ever said to me, I remember I was about 6 or 8 years old and someone said, always go for your dreams. And I thought, and it just really resonated to me, but I didn't really know what my dreams were. And then I thought back over the years, and as far as choosing what career you might have, and everyone says, well, what did you do? What did you want to do when you were a child or a young adult? What did you want to do when you grow up, basically? And I always just wanted to be a teacher. So when I went to university, I actually was going for teachers college, but I applied and didn't get in. So I thought, okay, they said, well, go anyways and reapply in your second year. Well, whatever happened in life, I didn't end up reapplying. But look at what I'm doing. I am teaching not what I thought teaching was going to be, but I did get to do what my childhood dream was. So I think it's important to look at what you wanted when you were younger, and yeah, you might just end up doing it later on.
So you made your dreams come true, really.
Absolutely. And it's with those people that help you stay focused and stay on track to decide what do you want and then how do you get it.
Okay. This has been a really amazing talk with you. I've learned a lot. I didn't know a lot of the things that involved in yoga. So thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And to the girls who are listening today, Tammy has actually done some yoga for you, or yoga?
It is, yeah, it's yoga. And again, it's this bringing this whole idea into mind that what we think about, we bring about. So if we're in a really good headspace, then our day is going to go a lot better than if we're just having a really bad time of things and being a bit more challenged. So this is a practice that'll hopefully help bring up and lift your mood a little bit.
Yeah, well, I listened to it and it's wonderful. So, girls, I know it's been a rough time, and sometimes we just need a little break from our work, a break from everything. And I think you'll really enjoy Tammy's presentation. It definitely gives you a chance to rest and recharge a little. And I hope you all enjoyed as much as we all have. Thank you so much again, Tammy, for being here today. And we look forward to seeing you again, hopefully when COVID is over.
Hi, Tammy Cymbalisty here. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of yoga movements and just talk to you overall about our attitudes and our mood. So, because it's COVID right now, a lot of us can't see our friends, we can't go do the things that we normally would do, and it gets us feeling just kind of down and in the dumps. So the way that we move our body is a way that we can shift and change our mood. So just practice this with me. Start to swing your arms back and forth. And step your feet side to side. And maybe you let it get a little bit bouncier, like you're running on this spot, or maybe you'll just keep it down pretty low. Now, as you do this, I want you to say out loud, I am having a good day. And notice how the body kind of responds to that. I am having a good day. This is the best day. Even if it isn't, just say it. Play along. I am having a good day. Okay, good. So wind that down. Let everything just stop. Now imagine that you're having a really bad day. So notice how your posture would change. Probably you'd be like slumping down, arms are kind of hanging like a monkey, and walking around. Now let's go for a little walk with this one. And we'll say the same words. I am having a good day. I'm having a good day. Notice the difference, right? So what we want to do is bring this uplifting energy into the body so we're having a good day, even on the days when we're not. So if you take your arms and reach them up towards the ceiling, maybe lift up onto your tiptoes and drop down and press the walls away. Even just a little bit of movement like that will make you feel better. In fact, anytime we get the arms up into the air, the body thinks that that's something to celebrate, right? Yay, we're having a good day. So just something to keep in mind. So as we're doing this, let's go through some tapping of the body. Just want to kind of shake off our day. So let's do exactly that. Start by shaking off your arms. Maybe bend your knees, a little bit of bouncing. Maybe shift your weight to your left foot and shake your right leg out. And then land it down, shake the other leg out. That's it, and land it down. And then let's take your hands onto the top of your head and just start to tap the top of your head, the back of your head, the sides of your head. Don't tap very hard, let it be feeling quite comfortable. And then come into your forehead and just like your shampoo, I meant like washing your face. Maybe you shampoo your face, I don't know. And then into your cheeks, into your neck. Okay, and then just take one hand, make a fist with your hand, and just start to tap down the arm, up into the neck, go the inside of the arm, the outside of the arm, the bottom of your arm. And then shake out that arm, and then do the other side. So you're just tapping, not hard enough to leave a bruise. Let it be comfortable. And just waking the energy up in your body here. And once you finish that arm and that side of the neck, shake out that arm. And then same thing, just beat onto your chest and then your lower ribs and your belly. Bend at the hip joint, get into the hips. And then start to go down your legs. And you can do one leg at a time. The front of the legs, both sides. The knees, maybe spread your feet a little bit wider so you get to the inside of the legs, and then the outside of the legs, and then the back of your legs. And then spend a little bit of extra time just at the seat there, the lower back, and as high up onto the back as you can comfortably get. Nice. Now, just let that go. Send your feet a little bit wider than hips distance apart. Let your arms just dangle by the sides and notice how you feel. And by that we mean the sensations of your body. So you might notice a little tingling sensation. That's the increase of circulation in your body. And maybe you're feeling a little bit better already. You can then start to come into empty coat sleeves, standing twists. So imagine that you have a coat on, winter coat, and you're just kind of letting the arms swing, your arms are by your sides, and those coat sleeves are just swinging round and round. And you might even let that translate all the way down to your toes. Nice and loose and limp there. To listen to my squeaky floor going. Century home, so the floor always makes lots of noise. Okay, let's not worry about that though. We'll start to wind this down. Nice, and after you've taken the time to wind that down, let's make your way to lying on your back on the floor. So one way you could get there would be having your knees bent, feet on the floor, and then you're just going to roll yourself down. So do it ideally hands-free. If you feel like you have to hold onto your legs, then so be it. But let's see if we can lower down, landing the vertebrae to the floor one at a time. You got it. And then when you get all the way down, slide your feet in, hips distance apart, and just settle your hands onto your belly. Just notice how good it feels to have a little bit of time just lying on the floor. And as you breathe, imagine you could get your breath all the way down into the abdomen. So let yourself enjoy a nice diaphragmic breath. So that means we want to inhale and fill the abdomen. You want to swell up to the ceiling, kind of like a balloon. And then keep filling into the chest and the collarbone. And then exhale, release the breath from the collarbone and then the chest and lastly the abdomen. Nice long and full breaths there. And then taking the arms to a T position, ideally palms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let your head roll to one side. As you inhale, invite the head to roll to the other side. Just keep that going, side to side. And then let your knees just drop in the opposite direction of the head. It's a simple spinal twist. And just any speed. You can go fast, you can go slow. Just notice how the back is feeling, how the whole body is feeling. Maybe you've been sitting in front of that computer all day long, so just taking some time away from that. Notice how the knees feel, the hips feel, your back is feeling. And just one more time per side. That's it. Now as you come back up to the center, let's step the feet close to the seat, about hips distance apart. Settle your arms down by your sides. So now as you breathe in, let's let the arms float up and overhead. And if they only want to go across from the chest, that's okay. But ideally, we want them to go right up overhead. And then as you exhale, let your arms lower back down by your sides. So that diaphragmatic breathing we were doing just a moment ago, the hands now are guiding the breath both in and out of your body. So inhaling, you're filling up with breath. And exhaling, you're releasing the breath. And now in a moment, we're going to lift your hips and pelvis upwards towards the ceiling, and the hands will help to guide this. Make sure your nose stays pointed towards the ceiling. So you might want to watch one before you start to do it for yourself. So keep your neck nice and safe. So let's go. As the arms rise, take the hips and pelvis towards the ceiling. As the arms lower down, land the vertebrae on the floor, one after another. As you're lifting with this, please do not hurt your back. You're only going up as high as it feels good for you. And then exhaling, lowering yourself back down. Let's do 3 more. Last one. You got it. Let's straighten your legs along the floor. Press into your elbows so you can slide the shoulder blades down the back side of the body so the shoulder blades aren't poking into the floor. Let the palms roll towards the ceiling, and let's let the eyes close. Just going to take a moment here in relaxation. So imagine, if you will, that you could relax deeply from the top of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. So let this whole softening start to wash over the entire body. So relax your forehead, your eyes, your nose, upper cheeks, lower cheeks, and jaw. So you want to imagine that the body's just sinking into the floor, just like the soft rain sinks into the earth. So soften your arms, hands, and fingers. Relax deeply your legs, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Let yourself feel fully supported by the floor. As you breathe in and breathing out. Now feel free to rest here for a longer amount of time if you're wanting to. Otherwise, let's wiggle the fingers and toes once again. Circle the wrists and the ankles. And now let's draw the knees all the way up into the belly, giving them a nice big hug. And just enjoy a little rocking side to side. Some people like to rock forward and back on your spine, so as long as your neck feels okay, your back feels okay, you could do that as well. So maybe tucking your hands under your knees, rock up to seated, and then roll back down. Just a few times. That's it, and then eventually rocking right up to a seated posture. And as you settle in to that seated posture, closing the eyes just for a moment and check in and notice how you're feeling. And invite yourself to carry those feelings of well-being into the rest of your day. Any day that you're feeling down, kind of blue, missing your friends, take a few minutes for yourself and just move your body in different ways than you've moved it before. That tapping exercise works great, or even this marching on the spot saying, I'm having a good day, even if you aren't, can trick your mind into believing that it is so and it is true. Thank you so much. I hope you do have a great day. Take care.